team.
All right, everybody, we have UFC 242 coming at us this weekend, and in the main event, we're going to have the long-awaited return of lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov taking on current interim lightweight champion Dustin Poirier. Now, Khabib coming off a huge win over Conor McGregor. Been out for a while due to the post-fight.
Post-fight what?
Post-fight brawl, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Soiled, though, by a melee that ensued.
It was complete chaos. This is ridiculous.
Men being men, boys being boys. Call it what you want.
In the interim, Dustin Poirier been looking very impressive and winning the interim title against current featherweight champion Max Holloway.
Yep.
That was a very impressive fight.
It was.
Fight that we all counted him out in.
I definitely did.
Yeah, and he proved us all wrong. Yeah, showed a lot of toughness, showed a lot of grit in that fight, and by all means, he's going to need every bit of that coming into this fight because Khabib is a much different fighter than Max Holloway is. All right, now looking at the stats, we have Khabib Nurmagomedov coming in at 5'10" with a 70-inch reach. We have Dustin Poirier coming in at 5'9" with a 72-inch reach. So we see Khabib taking the slight height advantage here with Dustin Poirier taking a 2-inch reach advantage. Going into their strengths and attributes, Khabib has been a dominant force in the UFC since he's arrived. Phenomenal grappler. Very good wrestling. Very big for the division. Very strong. Very imposing. Very good with the pressure. Good at taking his opponents to the fence. Working for that takedown. And he gets it. He may not get it in the first attempt. Maybe not the first 2 attempts. But eventually he's going to get his opponent to the net. And when he does, he's vicious with the ground and pound. Absolutely smashes and demoralizes his opponents. In the stand-up department, not all that sharp, but he's no slouch either. He's improving, sharpening up his boxing, and he does have power. We all saw the big overhand right that he landed on Conor McGregor. Yeah. Overall, phenomenal fighter. Dustin Poirier, veteran of the sport, and very well-rounded fighter. Specialties definitely in the stand-up.
Yeah, I would say so.
Very powerful striker, very well-rounded, really good with the hands, really big, powerful hooks, really good at fighting up in close range, really good at using pressure himself, taking his opponents to the fence and just battering them with those hooks. Really good leg kicks, body kicks as well. And on the mat, his specialty is jiu-jitsu. He's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, really good submission game. Overall, phenomenal fighter. Getting into the fight itself, the question is always going to be with anybody fighting Khabib, are they going to be able to defend a takedown? Just to quickly get over it, my answer is with Dustin Poirier, no, he's not. Now, I'm not saying he's not going to defend the first takedown, maybe not the second. He's definitely going to be training for it. We've seen in Khabib's past fights that opponents are starting to get better at defending that takedown. The issue is he constantly goes to it. He's not going to,
just keeps coming.
He may not land that first takedown, may not land that second, but he's going to press you up against the fence, he's going to pressure you, and he's going to look to put you on the mat. And when he does, you're in big trouble. He's going to hammer you, going to look to basically beat your face into the mat. Now, Dustin Poirier is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Is he good enough off of his back? Is he good enough in the guard to avoid Khabib's ground and pound? Can Dustin Poirier possibly submit Khabib from the bottom?
No. Khabib's top game is phenomenal. He's on top, that's it. You're not going anywhere. It'll be very hard for you to spin out or even get away from him. And you're just gonna freaking ground and pound you.
He's really good at keeping his opponents in a defensive position at all times.
Them Russians are sneaky.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
I know it sounds like we're giving Dustin Poirier no chance in this fight whatsoever, but this is where things get interesting.
It does.
Khabib, like I said, very big for the division. Has had trouble with weight cuts in the past. While he does have that under control now, that still takes a toll on his body. And he's not getting any younger.
Or prettier. Let's face it, guys.
We've seen in his past fights, especially with the Ally Quinta fight, that he does have a bit of a 2-round gas tank. And that's not to say he's going to completely gas out in that 3rd round, but that's when his opponents really begin to start defending those takedowns. That's when he really has to, slow the pace down and get his stamina back up. In that time, from what I've seen, he's really good at pacing himself, really good at staying out of trouble, and even, staying dominant in that round and in the following rounds. And the reason being is, though he has a harder time with the takedowns, the threat is still there, and his opponents do not want to be on the mat with him.
Probably because it doesn't wear deodorant. Yeah. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. And it's not because he doesn't believe in it. He's using that as a tactic. People want to tap out just by getting on the ground with them. They just want to get away with them. They'll just tap out, just give up. Yeah. I'm going home. I don't need this. I don't get paid enough for this. That's just what I hear. Hopefully, when this channel gets big enough, we'll be able to interview some fighters and we'll ask them. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Man, that was like fighting a smelly skunk.
In that 3rd round, he has to rely on his stand-up because when takedowns aren't working, he has no other choice. Like I said, he does have improved boxing from when he first started, but again, somebody like Dustin Poirier, he's going to be in real danger in that round, I believe.
Well, I don't know, because, yeah, he's going to be a little tired, we guess. He's not going to want to go for takedown. He's going to do stand-up. But you don't think Dustin Poirier's not going to be a little tired? You don't think his stand-up's not going to be a little sloppy? When you look at Quinta has some pretty good hands. Not a bad stand-up fighter, either.
Right.
And Khabib was able to get the better of him.
Okay, let me really get into that Quinta fight, because I got a lot to say about that. While Quinta is certainly sharp with his hands, he's still very limited with his boxing. He likes to measure his range and look for openings without throwing jabs and just dart in with those 1-2 hook combinations. He also tends to headhunt a lot. One other thing that Khabib, as well as Donald Cerrone, showed us is that Quinta really doesn't know how to deal with jabs being thrown at him. Dustin Poirier is real good at measuring his range using his right jab and his straight left. When he connects, he'll come inside and throw those powerful big looping hooks that catches many of his opponents, and once he smells blood in there, he's a finisher and he will try to put you away. Now the problem here is all of his power shots are inside the clinching range of Khabib, and if he comes into Khabib's clinching range, he is going to be in danger of being taken down. Now again, in the third round, if he is able to defend the takedowns of a tired Khabib, this is certainly going to be his best chance of winning this fight. It's not going to be smart for Khabib to try to get in there and box with Poirier.
Especially within 2 inches. Let it go on record, Dustin has a good 2 inches on Khabib.
In my opinion, Dustin Poirier is going to be a lot more dangerous than Quinta and Conor McGregor. In my opinion, he's a lot more aggressive and more crazy than Quinta is, and that's saying a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And with Conor McGregor, I really don't think Conor McGregor was game for that fight whatsoever.
No.
I mean, he just got smashed. Again, if Dustin Poirier can start to defend the takedowns in the later portion of the fight and start to land on Khabib's going to be in big trouble. But I do believe that Khabib's going to be able to stay composed. I don't think he's going to be arrogant or dumb enough to try to stand there and trade with Dustin Poirier, especially after watching what he did to Max Holloway. I could be wrong on that, but I'm not going to bank on that.
Is he composed though? I mean, he's only composed when you're not throwing dollies at the bus he's in. And that's when he loses it. That's where he draws the line.
Or if he got bleach blonde hair.
Yeah, if you got bleach blonde hair, that's it. You're going to see the eagle fly, baby.
Oh, yeah. Dustin Poirier is really going to have to be training this jiu-jitsu, because I don't think it's going to be smart for them to count on Dustin Poirier being able to defend all of Khabib's takedowns. They got to bank on the fact that he is going to be taken down at some point, and he's going to have to use transitions to, if not at least be able to escape the ground game of Khabib, to at least be able to avoid the damage. I think Dustin Poirier is going to be game for that third round and following, and like I said, I think he's going to be training for that as well. Now, going back to Dustin Poirier's ground game, you look at Dustin Poirier's last fight with Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez was able to take him down, and Eddie Alvarez is, in my opinion, not the level of wrestler that Khabib is, yeah. He was able to control Dustin Poirier. Poirier was doing a good job at avoiding a lot of damage, but he was being controlled by Eddie Alvarez. The only reason that fight was taken off of the ground was because, again, Mark Henry, my least favorite coach in MMA right now, advised him to throw an illegal elbow.
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And the fight was stood up.
Yep.
Dustin Poirier was able to take advantage of that and land on Eddie Alvarez and take him out. But, seeing the grappling exchange there really leads me to believe that he's not going to have much for Khabib in the ground department. I honestly think he's going to get smashed. Last thing I want to say is, yeah, Khabib does begin to tire in the middle portion of that fight. But, like I said, he is good at staying composed, and he is good at really working to get his stamina back up. And when he does, he goes right back at it. He's taking his opponent down, and he's landing the ground and pound. Anything you got to add or object to any of that?
No, but I'm going to call Dustin. I got his phone number. I'm going to call him. I'm going to tell him what you said. That's going to be extra motivation. He's going to want to make you eat your words, buddy.
Dustin Poirier really loves to be counted out. I mean, you saw what he was able to do in his fight with Max Holloway. That's really going to be pushing him in this fight.
I think he wants to bring the belt back to the great old US of A.
Now, for Khabib, this fight is happening in the Middle East. He's got a lot riding on this. He's got his most diehard fans watching this fight. He really doesn't want to look bad in this fight. He's going to be extra motivated as well. Overall, we're going to see a true test of heart in this fight. We're
going to be in for a treat. I think it's going to be a really good, compelling, great fight, exciting fight.
So you picking Khabib as well?
I'm not wearing a hat for nothing.
This is 100%, this is my fault.
As I said before, I'm a huge fan of Dustin Poirier, as is this guy. So I'm really rooting for the upset in here. I just do not see it happening. And if there's any objections you guys have, or anything you want to add or take away from this, please let us know down in the comment section below, because I really want somebody to make me believe that Dustin Poirier is going to win this fight. I'm just not seeing it though. Other than that, we really appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you for the recap.